CNN and Mayor Pete's campaign are in cahoots, and both of them are in cahoots with the DNC and the Iowa Democratic Party. Now, why do I say that? Well, the results are, a majority of the news organizations are refusing to make a call in the Iowa caucus. Why? Because there are outstanding mistakes that would give the election to Bernie. Well, it turns out the Iowa Democratic Party and the DNC sat on all the results, 100% reporting, until Mayor Pete was going to do a town hall on CNN. And then as soon as Mayor Pete walks out on stage, by the way, who was right before him? Bernie. They didn't say anything about the Iowa caucus. Then Mayor Pete comes out and, oh, would you look at that? The stuff is released at 9 o'clock on the dot, 9 o'clock at night, and CNN says to Mayor Pete, oh, it's official. You've just been declared the winner of the Iowa caucus. That timing sure is, sketchy. And what's also sketchy is Bernie won by 6,000 votes, but you're not calling him the winner. There are outstanding mistakes that have Bernie win. So just across the board, if you're looking at this and you're going, wow, this is really questionable, you're correct to think that. Very correct to think that. So further evidence of CNN playing the protect Pete game, trying to give him a surge and then protect that surge in the polls. They did a segment on, you're going to be surprised to hear this, the meanness of Bernie Sanders supporters. You know, the old Bernie bro trope that they resurrected yet again. And look at how silly they have to be to make this argument. This is really something else.
Senator Bernie Sanders heads into Tuesday's New Hampshire primary, riding high after a very strong finish in the Iowa caucuses. He has far more social media followers than any other Democratic candidate, but as our senior investigative correspondent Drew Griffin explains, some Sanders fans are using bullying and hostile tactics on social media to try to drown out his critics.
You are a loud crowd. Say one thing bad about Bernie Sanders online anywhere, and strident Sanders supporters may attack you personally. Multiple targets describe to CNN what they call a Sanders swarm. It's not clear if the Sanders followers responsible are listening. In recent weeks, trolling Senator Elizabeth Warren as a snake, and in post after post, labeling Mayor Pete Buttigieg a rat. Two victims of this tell CNN they were so afraid of the online attacks they faced, they don't even want us to describe the circumstances for fear it would start up again. They both just questioned the politics of Bernie Sanders in a public setting, and their personal lives were exposed and attacked.
There are supporters of every single candidate who are mean, who are vicious online, who go right at the jugular. That's obvious. But look at the narrative they're setting up. No, Mayor Pete doesn't have any supporters like that. Not at all. You know, Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren don't have any supporters like that. Not at all. But they do. Now, you could have a conversation about numbers, but I would submit to you that, okay, if there are more passionate Bernie supporters who are trying to protect his name and his record from being smeared, that bodes well against Donald Trump now, doesn't it? All this like clutching their pearl. Oh, the internet is mean. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And Donald Trump rode a wave of his mean supporters online right into the White House. Right into the White House. There's this thing that floats around online, the left can't meme. Well, it turns out Bernie supporters can. And it turns out one of the things they came up with is this man right here is Rat Boy. Who cares, man? Who cares? Like, it's so silly. Are people supposed to watch this and get outraged? Like, who are you talking to? Some 75-year-old grandma in a nursing home who's like, oh my goodness, that's not right. Most people are just going to look at that and laugh. They're going to chuckle. It's funny. So, even if we grant them the argument that they're making, okay, so you're saying that Bernie Sanders has an online army that takes no BS and will stand up against Trump. And then all of a sudden, all this, pearl clutching over this, people will like it come the general election when, those mean Trump supporters get punched right in the face and, they get out-memed online. So, this is CNN, man. This is supposed to be like, the serious news outlet, #1 name in news or whatever. And this is what they're talking about? They're trying to say Bernie supporters are uniquely mean, uniquely vicious, therefore uniquely evil. By the way, this is the political analysis of simpletons, because I've seen it a couple times online where people say, hey, I would support Bernie Sanders, but his followers are so mean that I'm put off to his movement. What on earth does that have to do with what Bernie is proposing? Seriously. If that's your level of analysis, you're a child. Oh, it's his freaking supporters, man. They're so loud and obnoxious, so I can't support him. Really? A bunch of loud people turned you off to Medicare for all? Free college? A living wage? Ending the wars? A Green New Deal? Somebody who's not taking big money? So all those positive policy positions, you'll look past that and go to somebody objectively worse because his online supporters are kind of mean. Please. You guys look so silly. You have no idea how silly you look. And again, it really does show, I think, that Pete's campaign is in cahoots with CNN and the Iowa Democratic Party and the DNC. Because this is like right on time as they're trying to screw Bernie in Iowa. And all the evidence shows that. Instead of CNN accurately covering that story, they bury that story and they run with, look at how mean his supporters are. Why are you gaslighting us? You want to know why people are mean? Because they're trying to steal an Iowa caucus from Bernie Sanders. That's why people are mean right now. And Pete went out there and declared victory early incorrectly, and he helped fund the app that does the counting. All that seems pretty important, but you're going to gaslight us and act like there's no story there. The only story here is how mean his supporters are. Well, you better get ready, because a lot more is coming your way. And I'm happy a lot more is coming your way. Because maybe we can shame you into being a non-shitty person. I know it's only an outside chance, but you know what? Let's take that chance. Because somebody's got to correct the record. And if it takes mean Bernie supporters to do so, so be it.